Dinesh Jotwani by his team fell flat, trying to argue that prisons in India are not, are not comfortable enough for him. Trying to argue that his mental health is weak, which is why there is a risk of suicide in India. These are all arguments that it seems have fallen completely flat, despite loopholes being attempted by his legal team to be exploited in the United Kingdom.
Yes, you're right, Uday. We can see the consequences now of what their legal team said. There is an old Greek saying that the wheels of justice uh, turn slowly, but they grind very finely. So this is what has happened in this case. It was a long battle, but Indian government won that battle. And you remember a while ago, it was same with Thakur Rana also. He was also extradited. As far as the defense of their team is concerned, actually, as you rightly said, Justice Victoria, he Victoria Sharp, he turned the all the arguments which were raised, and it shows really in terms of number one, the legal system in India. He talks Justice Victoria's judgment talk about um, the legal system in India. He mentions in the judgment it's a fair system that we have. What about the under trials in the same offense? They have got fair hearing in India. So this observation, and Justice Victoria Sharp, he's from the King's Bench. So his observation with respect to Indian legal system is really goes well internationally, to say that India has a very robust, though it is Indian system, legal system is also slow, which I often criticize. But at the same time, we have a system that is fair. At least that part which their legal team had raised was rejected by Justice Victoria of King's Bench there. The second thing was mentioned, and again it is big accolades to the Indian system. They raised the point of human rights violations in India. He may not be given a kind of prison or the treatment. He may be, put in isolation. So all that on human rights perspective also, their defense, the defense team actually failed to establish that there are human rights violation in Indian prison. And third is also, the team that took the defense was with respect to suicide, kind of a healthcare problems in India. And they extensively showed that in India, in prisons, you can have depression, there will be torture that will be done. And again, this judgment is music to my ears. And when I read it, it actually shows that even with respect to the suicidal tendencies that he has, India has a robust, at least caring healthcare system which will be provided in the jail also. So ultimately, the point remains that
Absolutely. In fact,
what
Dinesh Jotwani, you're right, because while Justice Sharp did admit that he has a mental illness, perhaps that there is not enough threshold to prohibit his extradition to India.
correct, and that's a very good point. And not he goes further. He actually says that India is a good healthcare provided in the jail also. So what actually it means is that the fair trial part of it will take place in India, and the only thing which we have to see, and perhaps that will be more at the diplomatic level that will happen, is what are the extradition conditions that are put. So 6 years, as we all know, he's already spent in UK jail, but will that be adjusted in the final conviction if takes place in India? Will that be adjusted or not? The second point is how long there may be conditions that the trial will take place in certain period. So that those kind of conditions, and whether the normal bail process that is there for Indian under trials, can he avail that bail process or not? So all these conditions perhaps are not very clear what will happen in India. I know in earlier Tahawur case, there were certain extradition conditions that were given to Indian government. And perhaps we have that for Nirav Modi also. But I think that will be more of a diplomatic channel, and we'll have to see that. But I think this order, this judgment, sending Nirav Modi back is really good for our, and shows the robustness of our legal system, robustness of a fair trial system, our healthcare system, our government persistent system, which we talked about earlier, that the government has been really persisting in challenging these kind of proceedings taking place in foreign countries, and because they are, as earlier pointed out by Ambassador Mukherjee, also that it gives a bad light to Indian fairness of trial in India. So that is not there. That is of course not there. But when these proceedings are going on and these kind of defenses are taken by the accused lawyers, and when they defend themselves in the foreign soil, all kind of mudslinging takes place. And I think this judgment is kind of a landmark judgment that has come in favor of not only Indian government but Indian legal system, Indian human rights, and fairness to the trial that is taking place.
Yes.
So we are
Sharad
very,
Kohli, come
very
in here. How big of a setback is this for Nirav Modi and his legal team? Also, what will be